ladies and gentlemen of the jury. This is going to be a rather unusual video. I will of course have advertisement revenue placed on this, but I will probably disable comments, not because I don't want to hear from you, but because I need to have some moment alone to think quietly about this. And I'm doing this, of course, not because I had 100,000 people telling me to do it on Twitter, but because I wanted to at precisely the moment where that started happening. Let me address all the controversies one by one, and I'm not including the terrible lighting or the reflection behind me or this dreadful atmosphere or my amateurish performance. And I will make a calculated decision to avoid the one thing you've most wanted me to talk about, but I will talk about as many other things as possible to send you off the scent. First, to YouTuber Bookworm 31617 Pope. I realised that I should have credited you with the design of my opening, the theme. It just slipped my mind to do it, but as you can see, it's there now, and in fact it was there all along, but it just escaped your notice. But I'm very sorry that you're so short-sighted. Secondly, to YouTuber I Am Hysterical 316. I know that I said that the product I launched was really your product, but what I meant to say was that I'd purchased the thing off you, and therefore the thing I was holding in my hand was technically my product at that time because I'd bought it. Sorry if it wasn't clear, I'm sorry you got confused, but I'm sorry if you feel that I misled you. It's also very true that I did not in fact climb Mount Everest like I said, it was in fact Mount Aconcagua. It's also true that I have never been to France, but I have been to Belgium. Neither did I meet President Trump. In fact, I really had a most wonderful time having cocktails with Vice President Mike Pence. I know these are only kind of half-truths that I've said, but I know it's exaggeration, so once again, I'm sorry. Then there's this strange idea that I'm some sort of racist. Listen. I know I did blackface a few years ago when I was 28 and too young to know any better. I didn't know many foreigners at the time. I'm with a different crowd nowadays. I don't hang around with any of those people. I know I got loads and loads of cash for doing it from the ad revenue, but I've never done anything like that since. As a sign of my sensitivity towards this issue, I shall be placing 50% of all the money I get from advertisements towards the legalization of cannabis, and the other half I shall be awarding to the little black person I ran over on my way here, because remember, Black Lives Splatter. Neither have I any animus towards Orientals. In fact, when I did that slitty eye movement and spoke in Chinglish, I was in fact trying to impersonate a Mongolian with a speech impediment. But I don't hang around with any of the people that I was with in that video anymore, not even the Asian one who's obviously a traitor to her race because she laughed when I did that thing. I've never done anything like it before, except in those 1 or 2 or 3 other videos that you see me doing a similar thing, and I will never ever do anything like that since. Unless I'm well paid for it. Then to the Hispanic community I have to apologise. It so happens that a few years ago I was indeed in America with my rich American friends in Hollywood, but that scene where I put on a false moustache, went about in a poncho and wore a sombrero was in no way intended to be derogatory towards Hispanic people. I was trying to make fun of the gardener. Nor was the scene in which I dressed in a balaclava meant to be derogatory towards Muslims in general. I was supposed to be a bank robber who just happened to have an Arabic accent. We are all Muslims now. Nor is it true I was in any way manipulative towards Dorothy or Geraldine or Thomasina or Mabel or Arabelle or Peter, or whatever the name of the person was that said I was manipulative. I wasn't at all. I never cheated on that person. Well, I might have done once, or twice, or maybe 3 times, but I was in no way manipulative. I was attracted to the seductive flesh of her legs while she was dancing around in a ballet costume. That is all. It teased me, it seduced me. I've moved on since then. I wish everyone else could as well, and I'm only sorry that you can't. No one was coerced into bed with me. I'm irresistible. In no way am I a misogynist. I'm a massive, massive feminist. I went on the Women's March recently. I got myself a pink pussy hat here, but unfortunately the colours ran in the wash. And as for this idea that I have bigoted views towards people who are gay or transsexual, that is perhaps the most hurtful thing of all to me. As a long-standing supporter and ally of the disgusting Rainbow Brigade, I think this is terrible and scandalous that anyone is hurt on the basis of who they are. In that scene where I did this and this, what I refer to as the gay teapot gesture, I was in no way trying to portray a stereotypical homosexual or transsexual or transvestite. All I was doing was making fun of people who see them like that. I'm only sorry that your tiny minds can't grasp this. But I realise that time has moved on. It's only been a year. I'm still young. I'm still learning. I've only been on YouTube for about a decade. I didn't mean to drop my pet inside a food blender. In fact, I didn't. That was an optical illusion. And I'm very sorry to that child who tried to follow my example of fire eating. I should have warned you not to try this at home. In fact, I burned my curtains doing that. I didn't show you that. I'd also like to apologise to all those Indians I traumatised by walking around Mumbai in a pink leotard with a giant cuttlefish on my head. All I was doing in that video was attempting to relieve myself of hiccups. That's how I do it. I was also trying to raise awareness of cruelty to animals by being cruel to an animal. I'm sorry again I didn't address the central theme that you all wanted me to apologise for. This is all very terrible. I'm learning from my mistakes. I'm still growing. I'm still young. I shall take some time off the internet for a while, and then I'll come back when everything blows over and I'll have millions of sycophants following me all over again. Remember, bigotry is bad. You're all in my thoughts and prayers. I hope that is satisfactory for you. I'll see you again soon. Thanks very much. Sorry again. Bye.